My dear brothers and sisters, recall your childhood when you were going to the school. Perhaps when you went to the school, you went walking. But while returning, you always ran and came home. After all, why walking towards school and why running towards home? In fact, there are feelings connected to that. As children, we did not like to go to school and get constrained by the disciplines and to study all that. So there was a kind of sadness perhaps. And that's the reason we always walked towards school. But when we returned home, there was lots of joy. Joy to return home, to be with the parents and the siblings, and perhaps joy to have fun and play at home. And that is the reason we walked towards school and we ran towards home. And that's what we see in the gospel today. We see those two disciples walking away from Jerusalem, walking away from home. And the gospel says they were disappointed, they were dejected, they were sad. What they had expected had not happened. But the Lord appears to them. As they were walking, the Lord comes in their midst. And the Lord breaks the word for them. And later the Lord breaks the bread for them. And they recognize Jesus. Yes, in the brokenness of our hearts, in the brokenness, in the breaking of the bread, and in the breaking of the word, we are able to recognize Jesus. Today, as we offer this Holy Eucharist, let us reflect and see in our daily activities, in our spiritual life, are we walking or are we running? Is there sadness, disappointment, dejection or depression? Or are we filled with life, filled with zeal to run and do our responsibilities and activities? Secondly, do we recognize Christ, who is always present with us in our difficulties, in our sadness, in breaking of the bread and in breaking of the bread? Let's ask Jesus himself to stay with us. We will be recognizing Jesus during this Eucharist. He will be coming into our hearts. Let's ask him to stay with us, that we may always experience his presence and do what he wants us to do, and thereby able to do the will of God in our lives.